Good morning, welcome back to a brand new video. It is a stunning day once again here at Miracle Mountain. And do you ever wake up just raring to go? That is how I feel this morning. I am ready to tick another job off this stone house renovation and then move on to the next one. Just keep chipping away every single day. And how can you not be excited when every morning I get to wake up, come down here and work on this beautiful stone house. So today's work is all going to be done through that doorway just there inside the stone house. I need to remove and split a massive stone, probably into 3 pieces, so I can move it out and progress onto the next step. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this stone is massive. Look at the size of that, and basically it has fallen on to this scaffolding. So there's loads of scaffolding over there, there's scaffolding all the way down here, there's smaller stones over here that need removing all the way along. There's even a big stone here I've just spotted under all of this rubble, so I need to remove that as well before I can get this scaffolding out. But I am gonna tackle this with the grinder. I am really looking forward to this stone being moved out the way. It is massive. You can see the size of me compared to the stone. It's beautiful. It's really flat. It's got a lovely face to it. And I would have loved to keep this as one complete stone, but I can't fit it through the doorway. So that's not going to happen. I wouldn't be able to move this on my own anyway. I could definitely pull it out, no problem with the tractor, but as I say, it doesn't fit through the door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this in 3 parts into 3 usable stones. It will make some really nice steps and I can use it down the line. This stone, like the last one, is not crumbly at all. There's no veins, there's no cracks. So it's either going to be really tough or okay to split. We'll find out soon. I don't know if you can tell by the sweat dripping off my face, but this is by far the hardest and densest stone I've ever had the pleasure of splitting. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's not even that thick. I'd say maybe 6 inches thick, but it is very hard. Oh yes. Can you guys hear that noise? It's like a deeper sound. That's a good thing. If it's really tinny, it's not working, but the deeper sound, I'm getting through this stone slowly but surely. I am calling that a huge success. If you never give up, you'll always find a way. 100%. That's what happened there. It took a long time, but I had a plan. I stuck to it and it worked out perfectly. Although, I don't know if I've got it in me to split this stone into 3 pieces. I might try and move it out in 2 because going through all of that again, that is the densest stone you will ever find. So the angle grinder is the champion of this stone, proper workhorse, but without the hammer and chisel, I wouldn't have been able to complete the task. There's many ways to split stone. You could also drill holes with a hammer drill all the way down the middle and then use the hammer and chisel to split it. But look how clean that split is. That is going to make a beautiful stone somewhere in this project for sure. And what I did is, if you're interested, I opened up an area here, you might have been able to see it on video, in the middle, almost creating a hinge so that the stone could fall back in on itself and wouldn't get wedged when it finally split, which made the stone slide down, which is exactly what I wanted, because I want to slide the stone down to here so I can actually get a chain around it to pull it out. But that is beautiful. And like I said, This stone here, I think he's gonna have to stay as one piece maybe, or I might give it a go when I got a little bit more energy. So what I've done is I've put this sheet of metal, the old roofing that I actually pulled out of this barn a few days ago, and I'm hoping that if I can get a chain around that stone, I can kind of skid it out of the doorway on top of that, missing all of the scaffolding and bits and pieces that it could get snagged on. There's only one way to find out, and that's to get the chain around it, pull it out with the tractor, see what happens. It worked. I'm so happy about that. It's nice when a plan comes together, isn't it? It just like boosts the morale. I'm happy that today I woke up feeling so fresh and ready to go, because if I didn't, that would have been an even more monumental task than it already was. There it is. The stone is outside, ready to start its new life somewhere else in a wall. I'll definitely be reusing this. You can see all of the burn marks on the bottom of the stone and on the top as well. This was in the fire just like all the other stones, but this is completely solid, reusable and not crumbly at all. So that kind of proves my point that not all granite is the same toughness, and not all of this granite stone was affected in the same way as the fire. The pillars held up the floor, so they basically had all of the flooring burning around them, all of the joists, all of the roof joists as well, all of the roofing, all of the metal, anything that could burn around them pillars, they took the brunt of the fire. Whereas this obviously hasn't been affected as badly. Let me try and explain a little bit, because I have had quite a few comments of people going, just tear it down, or if that stone's brittle, all of the stone's going to be brittle. It's just not the case. I'm really hopeful that, you know, when the structural engineer finally makes it here, that, I don't know, that he won't go, okay, yeah, it needs to be completely torn down, but also things cost money. So if it's a case of then everything has to be brought back and rebuilt completely, it's going to be very expensive with stone to do that. It's going to be a very costly process. So at that point, that's when we need to make a decision. But for now, I'm just carrying on as if some of the stone needs replacing and I can rebuild them sections. That's the kind of best case scenario. So let me just try and explain how these stone buildings are made. So you've got the outer skin of stone and an inner skin of stone, and then some infill of smaller stone in the middle, whatever they had their hands on, clay mostly, with smaller stones to kind of fill up the gaps. So you can see these big hefty stones and the lintel on the outside are all perfectly fine. I've checked them, they're solid, and from my knowledge, that's all good to stay. The problem you get is on the inside. So let's have a look on the inside. Although this all looks really good to me, like it really does. There's no flaking of the stone. It seems that this building did not take as much damage as the main section of the house. You can see right to the top there, there's some blackening and the smaller stones, but they all look completely fine as well. So to my knowledge, that's good. That wall over there is pretty good. The problem is like here. So this lintel does have some flaking on it. You can see that's flaking off. So that's where the structural engineer comes in, checks for any cracks. I can see a crack through there. On this particular lintel, there's no cracks running all the way through. On some of the others, there is. But generally, this room is in fairly good condition. And I can understand the doubters and the people commenting, just tear it down, it's not safe, all of the stone is going to be brittle. I think I've proved that that isn't the case. Your opinion's valid for sure, but unless you've got lots of knowledge of working with granite and fire damaged granite, then your opinion is kind of just a guess. So it's interesting to hear everyone else's thoughts for sure, but we will definitely let the expert decide. I've got a fair bit of experience working with stone, and I wouldn't make this decision. I would definitely be getting the structural engineer to make the full report, and then we will plow on from there. But I am really hopeful, because it is double skinned, all of the outside stone looks perfectly fine, and then we can come up with a solution to fix some of the inside and some of the lintels, which will probably mean taking down big sections of wall and rebuilding it, but that's better than starting from the ground up, stone by stone. And I'm almost 100% sure that I could drive a truck into any section of this wall right here and it would not budge one bit. That being said, only time will tell. We'll get the structural report in, and then I'll make a plan off the back of that report where we go from there on. I still need to clear everything out of the house, the barn, so I can make that into a workshop. Everything I'm doing still needs to happen anyway, so I'm just ploughing forward until I do get that report. Thank you once again for all the lovely comments, the messages about Bee. She's in full recovery mode and just taking it really slowly back in the UK. I will catch you on the next video where I got something slightly different to be getting on with, so make sure you don't miss it.